Hey. We're taking it on track. Yes, that's right. I will be taking my Volkswagen Corrado VR6 to Castle Combe to participate in my first track day. Is it built for the track? Hell nah. But if there's any car I would take on such an amazing opportunity, it would be this thing, so I can really push it to see what it is capable of. Well, is it at least ready for the track? No. You see, I got an email from 4Stroke Media on the beginning of July saying Carly was hosting a track day on the 2nd of August. And of course I'm going to say yes, but there was one small problem. The fans weren't currently working, which is kind of an essential part of the cooling system, which cools the car. And that's quite important, especially when you're pushing the engine to its limits. So let's jump back 2 days before the event. A lot's been going on since I last posted about it. I sent my car in to get the timing chain and clutch changed at Stealth Racing. The guys there are amazing, but yeah, went in for the timing chain to be redone, and then they messaged me to say, yeah, you should probably change the head gasket and get the head skimmed. Bit more money than I was hoping for, but it's okay because I love this car. Now that I have it back, it's got another issue. You got 3 switches here, 3 plugs here. So this is the one that turns it on when it's overheating to try and get it to cool down. But I believe it is this plug down here that's causing the issues. Here we go. Temperature is climbing and no signs of the fans coming on yet. Ladies and gentlemen, 2005 forums on the internet are a gold mine. Stage 1 of my cooling fan is not working. He's replaced all this stuff. Still not working. First comment, have you checked the fuses? Didn't even know these fuses were for this, but these fuses here, these two, one's here and one's here, control the fans. He said check the fuses. Fuse is busted. Let's replace this and let's see if it works. No, I think that was a car in the background. In the end, I ended up taking it back to Stealth Racing, and within 10 minutes they found a separate fuse which had blown, probably caused by this dodgy plug. They patched up the plug and the wiring and sent me on my way. 1.85 miles of pure speed. Every corner is fast, with 2 sets of chicanes to break it up. It was definitely going to be a challenge for me and the car. We made it here to Castle Combe. Hour-and-a-half journey, the car was perfect. No issues, fingers crossed. So today is all a big thanks to FSM and Carly. This is the whole reason why we're here. Have I mentioned I've never been on a track before? This is going to be the first time. Time to sign on. Let's do it. After the briefing, we set off for the sighting lap, and then came the bit I was dreading, the sound test. If the car went over the sound limit, the day was over for me.
Wasn't his too loud?
It ended up being right on the limit, but we got through and the day was ours. This is Carly's universal adapter. This can plug into a wide range of vehicles, and it can do things like scan for fault codes, live data readings, and it might even be able to unlock some hidden features on your car. I'm going to go down to a Mark 6 GTI, plug it in and see what it can do. So we just scanned the car for any issues using the diagnostics, and it's telling me that it's got a new Carly Smart Mechanic, so let's show the results and see what we got. One very bad issue: central electronics, control circuit for tank flap. Enter Smart Mechanic, let's see what it does. Okay, so it's actually a generic code for the fuel, exhaust or cooling system, and obviously it's told me right at the start that it's to do with the fuel flap. Here it tells you a load of information about what it could be, what to do, things like that. I'm not really too fussed about this code. It hasn't caused any issues with the car, so let's move on. Let's click on the next option of customization. telling me that it's got 5 compatible ECUs to be able to read and rewrite. So here is the filter codings for the first option that I selected. You can see there's actually quite a lot. Loads of little things that you can adjust or change. But as this is not my car, I'm probably not going to do any of it. So it's quite a lot. And this is from a car from 2012. Let's go over to live data. And here you can select the different parameters to show up at once. Yeah, loads and loads and loads of things it can read. Let's go with the misfire one. Now, I don't think this car has a misfire. It did, and then all four injectors got replaced. So let's go ahead and select all cylinders. Let's start the car. Start readout. So far so good. I'm secretly sweating behind the camera. The car looks fine. We are good. I can turn the car back off. Misfires detected, 0. And that's it. It's got more stuff, digital garage. Thanks Carly for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the track day. Okay, so I took the car around at a reasonable pace, kind of pushing it, kind of just saving my energy for later on when I understood the track more. Now after 2 laps, I think it was, my brakes just decided to fail. At the time I was a bit confused because I had bought brand new discs and brand new pads and I'd hardly driven it since. That was the only downside, which I will talk about in a bit, but wow, the car felt great. How did you find it?
It was good. Adrenaline rush,
yeah,
definitely.
And then after the second lap, the brakes started fading quite a lot. I had to, you probably saw, I had to skip through the chicanes because I wouldn't have made it around the corner in time. Got planned next time, I should have done this first. First lap's gonna just be gauging the lap. Second, third lap, go for it. Third lap, pull down, do 1 more lap, then 1 more pull down. Fingers crossed, it should be good. Oh, we got the 2 RAs at the same time, let's go. It was at this time someone had mentioned that during the briefing the instructor actually told us wrong. This is my first track day, so this might sound so obvious to some of you guys. I was just listening to what the instructor was telling us. He said that the first set of cones, the yellow ones, was where you start turning in, and the red cones is where you start braking. Why would you start turning before you braking? You don't want to be braking around a corner. That's why my brakes were dead, because I was braking so late. I then took what I'd learned to more laps. Every lap that came I felt more confident in the car. Cornered harder and faster, but the real test was with the chicanes. So yeah, I tried to give it my all, but also constantly remembering that this is a 27-year-old car that I really didn't want to write off. Something that if you're brave enough to do, with the Corrado you can actually manage to get it on 3 wheels. I don't think I'd done it because it felt like the back end was just gonna spin out if I touched the brake slightly. It sounded sick. The feeling of being on track with just open road in front of you is amazing and incredible. I highly recommend anyone do it. One of the quickest cars that I was surprised about was this red Fiesta that went round. I just kind of glimpsed over at it. It seemed to be bombing it round the track. That's when the guy working with V-Box approached me. This is quite a crazy device that's perfect for tracking lap times. It can do a load of other stuff as well, but obviously we're at the track, this is the main thing. And I was going to do one more lap with this V-Box just to see what time I could get. So roll the lap. Yeah, so after only one proper lap of timing it, this was the time I got. Could I got a faster time? Probably. But after nearly losing the rear end in a previous lap, I would say, yeah, I gave it 90% overall. And that Fiesta that I mentioned earlier, just for perspective, apparently he did it in a rough time of 1 minute 25. The stretch tyres that I've got on my car are great for fitment, great for making the car look good, but not really good for the track. That, I think, is my problem with the lively back end, because before I had them tyres on, I never noticed any issues. Track day done. Have to say a massive thank you to 4Stroke Media and Carly for this collaboration. Such a great experience. Met some really cool people as well. My final time, I think was on there, was 1:36? No, 1:34? 1:32? This car is really good, but it feels like the back end is just so light. It's weird, it's off-putting. It's like I'm trying to really push it round a corner. It feels like the back end's just going to swing out as soon as I let off the accelerator. But it never did. I pushed it as much as I was, brave enough to. Big thank you to Carly. Check out the link in the description to make a purchase on their device, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.